So there has been an uproar, basically, from the left-leaning and extreme left side of the Democrat Party over what's been happening recently with Elon Musk and the Department of DOGE. And listen, not saying that Elon Musk is one of my favorite people. All right, I do like some of the things that he stands for, and other things are like, But you know what? That's just me. I try to be fair and balanced. But I find it very interesting that he's doing the job that he was asked to do. And what was that job? Go in, take a fine-tooth comb through the different budget line items throughout the federal government. All these dollars that are going out that came in from my pocket and your pocket via taxes, via the sweat on our brow, the breaking of our back, the long hours, the stress, all this sort of thing, all right, for taxes that were collected. And make sure that those taxes that are collected are not being spent improperly, that there is a actual cause and a reason that makes sense behind every expenditure. So, I say that to say this. I use a budget in my house, all right? Every week I get paid. I know exactly what's coming in, and then I know exactly what's going out, where it's going, and what it's being used for. In my budget, there is a little bit of room if in a certain week I have an expenditure that's not that good and there's a need in another area, I will use that money that way. Now, can you imagine, all right, my wife trusts me to pay the bills and to use money in a way that is beneficial to the home. And I start spending that money, instead of spending it to put food on our table, I start spending that money to put food on the neighbor's table. And I do this all the time. And my kids are starving. My wife is wondering what's going on here. And she asked me, are you using the budget? Are you paying your... Yeah, I'm using that budget. But I'm not using it the way that she thought I was using it. I'm misusing it. And I'm actually failing my wife and my family if I'm taking care of someone else and not them. They're my most immediate concern. So I say that to say this, is that American tax dollars need to be, first of all, used here in the United States. We can't have, for instance, $55 million that were spent to send condoms to Gaza. Now, people say this is a made-up story, but it is a line item on there. And then it was just recently came out today that there were millions and millions of dollars that were used by the USAID or USAID to fund subscriptions to Politico, which is a left-leaning, one-sided news organization that are being funded by American taxpayers. And last time I checked, in our country, we have both right-leaning and left-leaning Americans. But for the most part, I think most people are decent Americans and they want to get along with everybody. You have extremes at each end that just want their way and only their way. So when you see a government that is funding a political news outlet that leans in one certain direction to the tune of millions and millions of dollars, and you know that this news organization only puts out articles that feed the left's narrative, you wonder, why are we doing this? Why are we sending that much money there? we have to be able to know exactly how our money is being spent for the American people, not for a party, not so that there could be signal on one side of the aisle versus the other. And so it's very important that we as Americans, whether we like it or not, all right, we have the right, okay, and we deserve to know how dollars are being spent. And we can't waste time arguing about, oh, this isn't right or whatever. No, listen, these things hurt. When you have to rework your budget, okay, it's gonna hurt. You're gonna have to cut some things out. You know, maybe you were used to getting Netflix. Well, hey, maybe you can't get Netflix anymore. All right, you'll have to do without Netflix for a little while, or a subscription to your favorite wine service. Well, maybe you'll have to do without that for a while. And so you may not like it, but sometimes, I would say oftentimes, that which is the best for you sometimes does not taste the best. And there are some things that are coming out that we're going to start seeing that are really, really bad. I just also found out that we paid Angelina Jolie $20 million for a photo op with Zelensky. Why are we doing that? Ben Stiller received $4 million for the same thing. I don't understand how does that serve the American people's interests? Looks to me like it serves propaganda's interests, and we need to root that out, because at the end of the day, we need to be able to support the people in our country. And once we get that all squared away and we're good to go as an American people, with good infrastructure, bridges that are functioning, roads that don't have potholes, all these sort of things, housing for Americans, veterans getting taken care of, then once we get that squared away, then we can consider line by line, who else out there in the world needs help. But we need to take care of our own first. And that begins with us understanding that sometimes these things are going to hurt and they're going to be painful. And don't listen to the screeching hyenas out there telling you differently. All right, that's all I have for now. Y'all have a great night. Bye-bye.